Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect, where in the previous episode I didn't have a cold, whereas obviously that is not the case presently. However, I actually sound about 10 times worse than I feel, which is about 5 times better than I look, so every cloud and all that. In the previous episode I was looking for some keys, and luckily we found the locksmith of all locksmiths, which had approximately 7,000 keys on them. We obviously wrapped all of that up and made sure that they didn't escape, which was a bit of a feat in and of itself. In this episode we want to continue on with construction, and it's going to be over here where we are going to probably build our workshop. There was some plans to do other things like, well, many suggestions, such as have this as a bigger common room, which was a decent idea, I thought, having a, like a gymnasium type of arrangement, because at the moment we have the yards with the gymnasium equipment in, but we don't have it in here, and there's other things we could place, but no, this is going to be the workshop, as I mentioned. Now, the entrance will probably be, where is the entrance going to be? Let's go to walls and doors, and we'll go to a, well, probably a standard door. Is that a bit of fighting going on in here? It sounds like it. Oh, right. So it seems like Felix Darley, the legendary prisoner, has attacked and taken out the dog, and they are now heading out. Let's do a bit of a guard response, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4. And see how long it takes for them to get off the bridge. Oh, wait. Actually, they are getting off the bridge, although the orderlies don't seem to be doing that. So, as we can see, Darley is currently smashing through the, well, it says light, but actually it's the solitary door there, and that's why we did the taser rollout much better. Right, okay, let's go over to the walls and doors, and you could use any sort of door. I think we're going to go with probably a jail door, and we'll have an automatic door opener on it with a metal detector behind it. That's probably the way forward. Now, we're going to base the entrance of the door off what the regime is. So they'll eat, and then they'll go to work. So they'll be in and around here. So the door wants to be probably there. That's probably the best place for it. Let's go to max speed. I'm going to double check our grants here. We can see we've got currently bank loan of 0. We're going to increase that up to... Actually, no, we're not going to increase that because we've currently got 11,000 in the kitty. And also, we're going to receive 14 people anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much, does it? In terms of what we've got to do to build, obviously this is the main thing that we have to sort out. We then have to build these little rooms here, which, well, if we're honest with each other, if I've got to this point without having the psychiatrists, we probably don't need them, although it will help some of the reform. In fact, it'll probably increase the health grading as well, but we'll see how we get on with that one. This area here currently doesn't have anything earmarked for it. There was plans to maybe clone one of these, but have not yet settled on it, and obviously there's other odds and ends to do. But for the most part, we are getting on quite nicely. Oh, I should also probably finish off the corridor in and around here. So, yeah. Anyway, we're going to go over to the power block, and we can see that the power is running, okay on both of these, and I do stress okay only, because when it's up to about, I believe, 70 or 80%, it does have a chance to blow up, whereas that's about its limit. So we might be able to maybe reroute some power, and instead what we'll do is we'll have a power cable run up there. Cut all of that out, cut all of that out, cut all of that out, connect up a new power station here. It'll only be there with the bits around it, so it won't be a full capacitor one like that, but just around the edge. That then will power the workshop. I think that is the way forward, and we're probably best off doing that now that it is currently sleep time. We should probably do a shakedown as well, but let's go to dismantle utility, and I'm going to dismantle the utilities along... well, actually, we need this to power up those, and there's no such thing as like wire bridges, is there? So instead what I'll do is disconnect that. I'll disconnect probably that one and them ones. Actually disconnect them up to there will be fine, and then disconnect along probably that. Where do we need to go? Along there. So probably that. So it's a fairly big electrical overhaul here, but I think it's worth it. So we'll do that. That's going to remove all of these connections. We'll run further down. Connect that back up. Run further up there. Connect that back up. And then run down with that one. Put that on the separate grid. And then this one will run right across, and then tunnel. Tunnel there. Don't trust it. And then we'll run the cable into there. Okay, good. We also need to pull that out there, and then go up, and then in. Oh, no, my mistake. Down from there, and then connect up to that one. That should be correct. And then disconnect those. And then it is power station. Ah, we can't place the capacitors around it. I can place them on the left and right. And if need be, I can always remove this wall and extend it. Which I'm actually tempted to do in the first instance anyway. Put it there. Yeah, I think that's the way forward. Okay, we'll go to walls and doors, over to our wall classy, and then do that. I believe that was the correct one, and I've just realised that the flooring for that wasn't there. Let me double check that. It didn't look right though. Demolish them walls. And... oh, hang on, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll have to come down there as well, won't it? Dismantle that. Get rid of those designations. Remove the walls there and in there. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That. That should be correct. I think. Let's see. Let's go over for a flooring, which is the... it's not the Sulaco, it's the cargo flooring. Put that in there. That in there. Don't need to put the walls back in. Sorry, the door back in, but I always tend to do it out of this here. Sort of default stance and default position. That can go in there. And then capacitor up and around and down there. That's probably more than we need, but best to have that. And that's everything powered back up. Excellent. So we've got some intake. Let's go over to intelligence and informant. So we see we've got an ex-law enforcement there as well. So 2 ex-law enforcements. Now, here's the problem. Currently, we have a legendary prisoner. They are currently wandering around in here. And the ex-law enforcements should really be going in here. Because that's ideally where they need to be. They need to be in protective custody. However, this is a low-risk facility. Nobody around here, as far as I can tell, will want to go and attack the ex-law enforcement. They don't have those traits. I've also noticed there's a criminally insane member there. And I'm not too sure why they've not been moved yet. But I'm gonna guess I can take it. Yeah, gonna guess why. Orderly stuck there. Sack. Unpause it for a moment. See if there's any other orderlies stuck anywhere else. Can't see them, so we'll just hire one more. So there we go. And job done. Right, so that's all sorted. We're gonna leave this person in and around here. We did get the room for the armory, which I am tempted to build now, actually, because originally I didn't want to build an armory, but it seems to be sort of a decent choice, considering we do have this legendary prisoner. At the moment, obviously, it might go all kinds of wrong later on. So we'll go to a solitary door is generally the way forward. I do actually like to place a remote door as well, which you have to connect up to the automatic door opener, but we'll go with a solitary one for now. We're going to have all of the armory built, so we'll say tables either side like so. Actually, we don't really need 2 tables, do we? We'll get rid of those. Probably a table small either side. And then we'll have the weapons rack, which I'll place one there and one there, just because it'll look cool. And then finally the guard lockers, which will go probably like along here and then like rotating around there. We don't even need this like amount. I'm going to put 3 there just to have it as like a legitimate sort of room, and that's it. But the rest we'll place as and when we need it. So that's now a legitimate room and everything is sorted there, so it means I can hire a armed guard. So it'll be armed guards, say 2, 1, 2. We will hire both of those. Go over to deployment and to patrols. We're going to go for a magenta patrol and then have a magenta patrol in and around our protective custody area, which is obviously not just protective custody, it's for well, this guy's protection, or rather it's more like a Batman Begins thing where they're dragging Bruce Wayne off, and they said, "Why solitary? What for protection? I don't need protection. Protection for them, not him. Yeah, it's a protection from everybody else, not from that guy." Okay, so go for a assignment of guards with the armed guards. Clicky there. Schedule 1 only. No, we'll remove that. Go over to the standard schedule and then do that because we have 2 of the armed guards. Hopefully that should be okay. Right, so that is now hopefully working fine. We're going to go over to the walls and doors to the wall classy green. Place that in there. Over to our objects and then to the metal detector. Click that when we have the right amount of money, which is not now. Still not now. Still not now. Gonna take a beverage. Today's beverage is cold and flu drink with a hint of citrus. And quite honestly, it doesn't taste very nice, but it makes me feel not as terrible. Okay, so let's go for a grant. I think that would be the best way forward, simply because we can build this in pretty much one go. And oh look, yeah, that guy is kicking off once again. Actually, do you know what I might do? Let's go over to deployment, patrols, blue patrol. Let's just assign. Oh, actually, that's a question. I've got blue patrol around there. Let's assign a guard in there as well. Not schedule 1 though. Let's assign a guard and an... Oh, I didn't know you could drag that around. I know you could drag most of the UI elements around. Like you can drag these around and these around and stuff. I'm pretty sure you can drag... Yeah, you can move all these around, which is... That's going to annoy me now because I'm not going to get it back in the right location. Anyway, I think it resets when we start the game back up again. Yeah, so we've got those in there. That is now fine. There are no prisoners assigned to eat at this room. That's because they're currently in solitary. That's why. Fair enough. Okay, one thing I need to check is remove tunnels. There are no tunnels. So, over here, we now have the ability and money to place in the metal detector. It is imperative that we get that connected up as soon as possible, simply because, well, otherwise things will get nicked. So, speaking of things that can get nicked, we need to place all manner of equipment and tools in here. So, let's go to workshop. Clicky, clicky, draggy, draggy. And remove the designation of that. And actually, before anything else, there's a door servo. And we'll connect that up. So connections, tunnel there, don't believe it. So door control system. And over in there, once it's actually been installed, we can see someone's coming to install it. Well done. Thank you very much. And now that's sorted. I'm pretty sure they came along, they installed it when it was locked, but as soon as the door servo was in, they had to wait until the door servo was connected to open the door to let them out. Because it's Prison Architect. Right, we'll do a shakedown because we haven't done one in a little bit of time. In terms of the kitchen, I think we're still okay, although I think we would probably benefit from a tiny expansion. 1, 2, 3, 4... and maybe a sink. There we go. And the pipe work runs all the way along there. It's actually large pipe work as well. Bit of a tunnel there. Not too much of a problem. It's literally there and worked away, so that's fine. That's what we like to see. Finding the tunnel is always best than not finding it and sticking your head in the sand. So let's go over to planning and then to objects. So the distance we have here is 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can't fit a 5th one in. That's a bit of a shame. So we'll probably have a gap of 2 on the left-hand side. Work our way along and do that. We can have a row of tables along there. Row of tables along there. And have it like that. And just go along. Let me just make sure that it'll all fit in. It won't fit in down the bottom. So I'll start placing them there. It'll go up to about there. I think that's about right. Yeah, and then they'll come in and there's like an open area for them. Yeah, that seems about right. 4, 8, 12, 20, 30 odd. Okay, we won't have 20 of each, but we'll have close enough. Right, unpause, table, and then place the large tables in there. For this one, we'll have large tables up until there, and then now that we have a table that's small, we can actually put it in there as well. Although, what I find maybe is probably better idea is some waste benches. Waste benches? Waste benches. Wow, that was said. Some waste bins. Let's go for the workshop saw. 1, 2, 3. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's going to be an odd number. So I'm going to go with 4. Oh, hang on. Oh, even better. It's actually better that it's odd because we can go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can fit a carpenter table with some room to spare at the bottom. That's actually much better. I would go as far as to say that is almost perfect. Right, so that's in. Still waiting for them to do it, and we also need to, well, maybe even connect up some power, which would hopefully work. That guy is apparently wanting some of those drugs, and they can't go to any sort of group therapy because we're not running it in here. Don't think it's really worth running it in there, to be quite honest with you. As you can see, some orderlies are sort of standing around here. We've got an ex-law enforcement there, another trait there. We've got quick, ex-law enforcement, quick fighter, quick fighter? Skilled fighter. We've also got, obviously, our criminally insane inmates over here. We haven't really been looking at them too much because, for the most part, we haven't really had much of an issue with them. In fact, they've got to a point where they've only had stress up to about this level here, sort of over mid-ground. They've never went into the third bar, so we've never seen what that reaction is. We also have these medicine cabinets because we started to run the programs quite a while ago. We've got the medicine cabinet. Oh, we also got the sort of Rorschach chart test thing, so we'll place that in there as well. You've got a flipboard, and you've got an anatomy model, which you need to run more tests as well. We could place a leather sofa in as well. That would be quite good. Let's place that in. Ooh, okay, it's $6,000 and I didn't realise. Okay, let's probably go ahead and maybe run. Do you want to run some more programs? Probably best to do so. Let's go to programs and down over to our workshop safety induction. 31 people are interested, which is why I'm going to run a couple of those. Sadly, because of the size of it, we can't run. I'm going to stop that until we can build the rest of this, which I will do by, quite frankly, just getting a bigger grant. Getting that sorted is, I think, worth it. So over here, finishing off. I know we're spending more money in places we don't need to, but I really want to finish off the sofa placement there. And is that a good idea? No. You know what? Get rid of those. I'll put them in the. I'll put them in here because we've already got the nice ones in there. So yeah, we'll hang them around here. Although, do you want to do that? Does it seem right? Maybe outside here? They're there now. Right, over to the workshop once again, and we're going to place the saws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do the same for the presses. The carpenter's table, I'm not going to bother with. I don't really see much of a point in doing that. So let's just place the electrical cable in the places it needs to be. You know, so I'm only placing it in the one location. The reason for that is when these place, you get the electrical cable one to the right hand side of it, so this will connect up. All of these, they should then connect up, and indeed there should be power going over to those lights. Once that's done, once all this is placed, we will then be able to run that training session and get people working in here. We also have the prison manufacturing facility grant for $10,000, and that, when it's done, will be quite nice. And then we got the carpentry apprenticeship. So yeah, and that will obviously give people more jobs, which means spending more money in the shop and that sort of thing, which means more reform and overall a better grading. Speaking of grading, punishment 8, reform 7, security 3, health at 1, which is good, and the chief wants a little chat. One of the spiritual leaders we bring in for our religious programs has been riling up the inmates with all kinds of hateful speech. They've been fired, but the prisoner will take some time to cool down. Okay. Let's see what happens then. So that's now in. That should then connect up to there. Yes, that is now fine. Those are not connected, but it doesn't really matter. So it just means then going over to our programs, going down once again to our Carpentry apprenticeship, and 0 interested / qualified. Oh, of course, because it's workshop safety induction. Start, and we can see... that's kitchen safety and hatching. Actually, also, do I want to run... Yeah, guard taser, we can stop that. Workshop safety induction. Start. There it is. Still, for some reason. How many places do you get? It's only... right, okay. It's only 10 places. Fine. Right, that is now in. Perhaps another row of each would be beneficial. Actually, what probably would have been better is I split this in 2. Splitting it in 2 allows you to then probably have 2 better workshops. But we'll see. Over to logistics and prison labour, and we'll assign everybody to that. It says max jobs 33, but we'll see just how many people actually work there. These are low-risk prisoners, so it is very interesting to see them interested in working in the workshop, whereas the previous low-risk prison that we made, the reform prison, didn't work at all like that. They just didn't want to work in this sort of environment, which is interesting. I keep saying interesting, but I think it is. Anyway, so that is running. Let me go to edit schedule. We're going to check that to make sure it is all working. Workshop shared. It is in between them at times, so that is fine. Right. So eat time at the moment. Going to quick check on informants here. We do have ex-law enforcement, ex-law enforcement, ex-law enforcement. So 3 ex-law enforcement, a couple of quick prisoners, couple who are very confused, and then some criminally insane inmates that for some reason are coming in here, and I don't know why they are in here. Smith is currently over there, as opposed to eating there. Is it because of a lack of food? Or maybe they're being fed the prisoner uniforms. That would probably account for why they're not eating in this canteen. I'm thinking it is a problem with food production. You can see that there's still loads cooking, but they haven't yet delivered it. So I'm guessing it is a problem with cooks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rather the lack of them. We do have obviously people working in the kitchen. Oh, sorry, we don't have people working in the kitchen. That's one of the problems, isn't it? Well, I've hired another 4. We'll see if that resolves the problem. There's a couple of deaths there, and oh, dearie me. So it looks like that's slightly problematic. So the armed guard has been taken out by Felix. They have then picked up a gun, and they are looking at Guard Howell, who I'm going to tell to run out, and I am going to click emergencies, Riot police and paramedics, because quite frankly I'd rather pay them rather than have half my guards. He's going to get killed, isn't he? Yep, that's exactly what happened. I'd rather have these guys deal with it rather than the rest of my guards. Now, the advantage is that... No, don't go in there. Just, I know you're trying to be the hero and all of that, but don't even bother. And if that cook tries to be the hero... No, chef, don't do that. So we're going to go on... I'm not going to go on a lockdown because it'll take... No, don't even dare. Don't even dare, because that door's going to open. Run away. Just run away. I want to do a lockdown, but as soon as I do that, it's going to stop our guys getting through too, which is like a massive disadvantage. Where are the right people, by the way? Click on those. They're still there. Right, go there, and you go there. Okay, so they're now on their way. I'm going to click lockdown to see if that is the case. That's a shakedown. Lockdown. Yes. Oh, no. Lockdown is still... Yeah, the doors can still open by the look of it for these guys. That's fine. So, you can see that the cook still managed to get in. I don't know how. I don't know even why they attempted it, because this should be classed as a no-go area for them. And, I mean, that guy's just shot a carpet up. And a serving table and a phone booth and a pool table. I don't know whether he just really, really, really hates, like, well, everything, I'm guessing, but furnishings in general. Maybe he has stock in IKEA or something. Other flatpack furniture and self-assembly shops are available. Right, so we're going to charge our armed guards in, or our riot police rather. And let's see how long this takes. Guys, do you want to actually go in there and do your job? I mean, it's okay if you don't. I mean, we're only paying a bit of money to do it. There you go. And, oh yeah, that's a bit naughty. And that's dealt with. Well, it didn't take too long. But it was a bit bloody. 2 deaths. Armed guard and a standard guard. Let's cancel the lockdown. Lots of damage. A hell of a lot of damage. Looks like we've had... Oh, there's a guard dog. There's an armed guard. There's a standard guard. And... deaths in the past... 3 deaths. So there might be a... Is there a... canine unit around? There might be. Anyway, we'll send the rest of the police, the Riot police and the paramedics home. We don't need the Riot guards. And you can see now that the other armed guards come in patrolling. That is the problem with having armed guards, is that when they lose their stuff, that sort of thing can happen. Right. There's a couple of options. I can remove them from this patrol. That would work. Put them maybe in a patrol around here. That means that if they're going to kick off, they have to then start fighting, and then we have the choice to go in with the armed guard, rather than them just saying, I want to kick off, going straight over, and then killing them in pretty much 1 or 2 hits. The other option is to remove them from this place entirely, and put them around here. That is also a possibility. Don't know if that's strictly necessary, because generally the only people that go here are ones that have misbehaved, which is generally him at this stage. The whole armed guard thing is not... I don't think it's a great idea in there. I'm going to remove them. And instead what I'll do, I'll assign an armed guard in here. I think that might be better. It means that this guard's here still somewhat, air quotes, vulnerable. And this is obviously this is actually not what this is meant for. So it's sort of why we're having a couple of issues. This is meant for, it's protective custody, protecting people inside from the outside, rather than, well, protecting everybody outside from the person in. This is a jail within a jail, basically. This is Supermax, is what it's currently set to. Essentially, that's what this thing is. Obviously, with our legendary prisoner. But having the armed guard in there, it just, well, we get the things that you saw there, and yeah, a little bit of clean up. Either way, we have managed to get this workshop built. We have some more inmates arriving shortly. Let's go to intake and to our fill capacity criminally insane, and there's only one apparently that is going to turn up, so that's actually all right. Let me go over to the objects and lighting and place a light in there, because I believe that is the only cell that isn't lit. I'm just checking along. Yes, it does seem to be the case. How many psychiatric sessions have we run? Well, I don't know how many we've run, but we had 10 until we need to get until we get the flipboard. But in this case, we now only have 7 left for that. So what do these do? Medicine cabinet, improve the psychiatrist treatment of criminally insane inmates. It doesn't say. Flipboard is improves the psychiatrist office grade. After construction, reduces criminally insane inmates' suppression and certain needs by 5%. After consultation, provides criminally insane inmate with a grace period of an additional 1 day before suppression and certain needs begin to rise. And it says the same thing for the anatomy model. So I'm guessing these stack. So the more you have, the better things are. Which I'm guessing is the only way to run a full criminally insane prison. Because if you had to do... if you had to have the psychiatrist's office... If you had to have a psychiatrist's office for... I think it was like... I don't know what the ratio is between criminally insane inmates and psychiatrists. I don't know what the required ratio is, but I'm guessing at the moment we've got, what, 24? 24, and we've got 2 officers, and we're managing fine with it. I guess it wouldn't be too bad, although you could get different traits and it might not mix well, and either way, having these is always a good thing. Right, that's now sorted. I did put the connecting bit of flooring in, did I? I did. That's all sorted there. That's done there. It's just the flooring in here, which I do want to have as probably cargo floor, but that also costs a lot of money. which I don't have. So I think we will leave it there. Quite a decent episode, actually. We've got the workshop not done, but certainly well on its way to completion. We have a lot of the stuff in there, so the presses, the saws, with the obviously the tables and everything else. It's classed as a legitimate workshop now. Some of them are powered, but it will be once we place the rest in. We have got the prison manufacturing facility to get done, but obviously that requires the program to be run as well. So we check programs. You can see we've got the where is it? Workshop safety induction. Workshop safety induction. We got 2 sessions running at the moment. One with 10 people, one with 2. I'll probably stop that second one just because, well, it costs. It's actually only 100. We'll probably just leave it there and see how we get on with running just one session. 26 interested though, which is pretty good. And yeah, we also spent a lot of time building in the extra power station, which I think was a worthy inclusion. Either way, we will call it there. Next episode, hopefully I will be able to speak a little bit better. Hope you have enjoyed the episode. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.